Hey YouTube, welcome to the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. I want to bring you a little update video on the SAKER mini saw. If you didn't see my initial review on this chainsaw and torture test, I'll include a link in the video description on that as well, so you can check out the initial review. But I reached a milestone with it today, so I wanted to give everybody an update. I've used it, cycled the battery 100 times from fully charged to fully flat. And you know, when I initially started using the saw, it would do about 90 1.5-inch cuts per battery charge. So if we say 100 battery charges times 90 cuts, that's 9,000 cuts with this little saw. I've had it 2.5 months. I've used the absolute snot out of this thing. I've cut stuff I'm not supposed to cut everything under the sun. The question would be, what haven't I cut with it more than you know, what I have cut? 8-inch poplar tree, dropped one the other day with it. Yeah, that's right, 4-inch mini saw, drop an 8-inch poplar. I've cut 6-inch sweet gums, 4-inch birch trees. And you can see some of the logs right here. This is a log off a birch tree. So you can see, you know, pretty good sized birch log. I've used it to cut 2x4s, 4x4s, all kinds of stuff, treated wood, you name it. So like I said, I've probably used this more in 2.5 months than most people ever use it. They'll probably lose it or misplace it before they ever get as many hours or as many cuts or as many charge cycles I have on this saw. It's holding up well, minus one little thing. So I'm going to show you, what I've had to do to it. So let me reposition and I'll show you the wear item on this saw. So I've sharpened the chain about 20 times. The chain's holding up good, hard as a rock. The motor, controls, battery, everything's holding up fine. I've not seen any decrease in battery capacity, but I'm going to take this apart and show you what has been wearing on this saw. So I'm going to take the guide bar off of it and chain. So you can see the drive sprocket. Everything's fine there, no wear, no slop in the bearings, everything's good. You think that's wear from the teeth and the chain? It's not. That's all good, very strong stuff right here. So here's the chain. The chain's holding up well. It's hard as a rock, literally, and I've hit rocks with it. You can see some of the cutter heads, are a little shorter than the other ones. That's where I contacted a rock a couple of times. I've been using this saw for, near the groundwork kind of stuff too. So I've got some, some rocks and stuff, chips on it a couple of times. I've run the depth gauges or breakers, whatever you want to call them. I've had to file them down a little bit to keep it cutting where I've took so much of the teeth off, but the chain's good. Now let me show you what is the wear item. Check out the bar. The bar is very soft metal. If you can see the groove, see that groove in there? Right there, see the edge on it? So that's the problem right there. Of course, the saw is not automatic oiling, so you have to supply your own oil in it. So if you get any dirt and crud, it's just basically like that chain's like a file on this bar. The bar is very soft. So I've dressed the bar with the file a few times. So if you run into this problem, don't throw your bar away. You'll start hearing the saw drag and stuff if it starts getting this little groove in it. But let me show you how to dress this bar, and you can always order a spare extra. So I would recommend, if you're going to be using this a bunch, to go ahead and get an extra guide bar for it, because that is the wear item. Everything else is good, but this is just kind of soft. So let me show you how to dress it up. Another thing, this nose where the sprocket is such a tight curve. I don't know if you can see right there. See the little dip that it's made in the bar? So as the chain comes around, that's the nose is so tight on it, it's wanting to wear this spot out too. But anyhow, besides the point, let me show you how to dress this bar up. So you take your file, you can use a mill file, bastard file, whatever you got, and you hold the bar straight up and down and take the file perpendicular to it and just work it down the guide bar, dressing it. Use stroke. And you see it starts to take that sharp edge off the side where the chain rides. So you can buy a new bar, or you can dress it like this, whichever way, whatever floats your boat. 20 or 30 strokes on each side, so I still got a little spot there to clean up, but right here is where your main cutting force is. This is kind of concealed back here, so I was just going to keep wearing that if you don't get that off, but I'll clean it up before I put it back on the saw. You can also flip your bar, flip it direction, so when you're cutting down, the force will be, you know, equally applied. So every 2 or 3 battery charges, I've been flipping the guide bar to the opposite side so it tries to wear it down evenly. So I've done my best to keep the wear on it even, but you know, that's the weak point in it. So if SAKER's watching, please make the bar a little bit harder steel, a little different quality, make it last. Everything else on the saw is great, minus the guide bar. Don't let it scare you away. Like I said, I've used this saw more than most people will ever use it. I almost guarantee you that. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna put it back together and show you that it still cuts like a champ. Another thing I've been doing too, instead of using the mineral oil that come with it or vegetable oil, which I ran out of the mineral oil stuff the first day. I just been using regular guide bar, chainsaw guide bar oil. So I just stick it down in the thing and suck it up into the little dispenser, and yeah, it holds on a lot longer because it's got cling to it. And you can kind of see right here what I'm talking about on the where the tip of the guide bar, where it's kind of wore. You see how the chain, see this part wore out first right here. You can see it's got that where the chain's not making good contact when it comes around. See it right there? Let me put the battery in it and show you what it looks like. You can see it better at speed. Can you see that where it's wanting to jump right here around this nose? So that's the only problem with the saw. Everything else is great on it, but it still cuts fine. Still cuts like a dream though. Old pine 1x3 here. So wore out chain, wore out guide bar, still cuts like a champ. Nice and straight still. Not bad. So don't let me scare you off from the saw. There's nothing besides the little guide bar that's had any issue, and that's just tons of use. I mean, you know, if we average out, you know, the cuts, that's a lot of cuts on this thing. 100 charges on the battery. So you know, don't let it scare you off. And this actual particular model right here is on sale right now. The single battery kit's like 39 bucks. And SAKER don't have a replacement guide bar on Amazon, but there's multiple other companies that make 4-inch guide bar and replacement chain for like anywhere from 10 to 12 bucks. I'll throw a couple of those links in the description. And one company also claims they make a 6-inch guide bar that will go back and work with this saw. Now whether that works or not, I don't know. But you know, that's pretty cool too if you could actually increase it to a 6-inch guide bar. So look for that in a future video. Hope you liked the video. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Question or anything, put in the comments. If you're not subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate a subscription from you. Thank you for watching the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. Hope you'll have a nice day.